This is the Sunday Business Page with John Delano.
Good morning, I'm John Delano. Welcome to another home edition of the Sunday Business Page. And our very special guest is Ted Rossman, who is the Senior Industry Analyst for creditcards.com. Ted, nice to be with you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Oh, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
So you publish from creditcards.com a number of very interesting studies, and this one really intrigued me. You're suggesting in a study that baby boomers tip more than millennials or the Gen Z crowd. And just to be clear, the Gen Z and millennial crowd are those who are under 40, essentially. I'm a baby boomer. I saw that. I kind of like that story. What's going on here?
Yeah, we saw a huge difference here, especially in the frequency of tipping. Like, for example, at sit-down restaurants, where I think tipping should be basically universal, there was a huge disparity. Only 56% of Gen Zers and 58% of millennials say that they're always tipping the wait staff. That compares to 80% of Gen Xers and 88% of baby boomers. And a similar trend played out in other categories. For example, food delivery, or the person who cuts your hair, or baristas, rideshare and taxi drivers. Really across the board, the frequency of tipping is far greater among older adults.
Do you think that's a function of income because older folks have more money than younger folks usually?
I think a lot of it is income, but I don't think that's the whole story. I think there's also some broader societal trends. I mean, some of it is life experience. I think that tipping is often very confusing for people. And I do think that this ethic really gets worked in more the more experience you have. I would also toss in there that we hear kind of a social justice angle from young adults. Sometimes they don't like that businesses, if you will, get away with paying their staff less and hoping that the customers make up the difference in tips. That is something we hear from a lot of young adults, that they're kind of rebelling against the system. The unfortunate thing, though, is that this is the way of the world. And if you don't tip well, you're not really hurting the business, you're actually hurting that hardworking individual. So I know some people really believe that we need to have higher wages and that maybe tipping should be a thing of the past, but at least for now, it's a really important way to make a living for a lot of people.
Yeah, and the fact that 45% of younger folks are not tipping at all at a restaurant, I mean, I find that astounding. But there was another aspect to your study that was pretty interesting, and that is that when the younger folks, the Gen Zs and the millennials do tip, they tip better than the older folks. Yes?
That was interesting too. Yeah, so you might say that young adults are kind of boom or bust tippers. They're more likely to give you nothing, but then when they do tip, they often tip a little bit more. So we found overall the average tip among people who tip at a sit-down restaurant is 20%. For food delivery, it's 17%, and for takeout, it's 15%. And in all of those categories, young adults, especially millennials, tip a little bit better than the average when they do tip. There's also a lot of zeros thrown in there, as we've said. The other thing that was really interesting about the amount of tipping is that anybody who has service industry experience, like if you've ever worked for tips, you're probably a way better tipper. We found a 5 percentage point difference. People who have worked in tip jobs know what it's like, and they tip a lot better.
Well, Ted Rossman, it's such a pleasure to have you on and to really talk about this particular very interesting statistics that you've come up with. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We really appreciate it.
Anytime. Thank you.
And thank you for watching this edition of the Sunday Business Page. If you have a suggestion for a guest, get in touch with me at jdelano@kdka.com. Have a great Sunday, everybody.